I'm Christina Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. An NGO connected to Gavin Newsom that is stopping farmers from getting water in California was just awarded a $2.7 million grant from the state. The controversial taxpayer-funded grant was awarded to the Nature Conservancy, an environmental NGO with ties to the California governor, and it sparked outrage among farmers struggling to get water. Water for farmers in California was recently shut off abruptly, leaving the farmers no way to grow crops or sustain their livestock. Of the $2.7 million allocated to the Nature Conservancy, $78,000 is designated for the Point Reyes Rewilding Project. The rest is being spent on wages, planning, and indirect expenses, prompting accusations of mismanagement and profiteering at the expense of taxpayers. The Point Reyes Rewilding Project is set to transform about 16,000 acres of agricultural land within Point Reyes National Seashore into a scenic landscape zone focused on ecological restoration and wildlife conservation. This initiative is being criticized for prioritizing environmental goals over the region's historic ranching tradition and involves the closure of 12 ranches, 6 dairy and 6 beef, within 15 months. Governor Newsom has signed legislation directly supported by the Nature Conservancy that lines up with its environmental agenda. Newsom also appointed Sandy Matsumoto, former director of the California Water Program at the Nature Conservancy, to the California Water Commission. In addition, Liz Forsberg Party, the NGO's former policy director, was appointed to the California Board of Forestry and Fire Protection. These appointments raise concerns about favoritism and the prioritization of environmentalist goals over agricultural needs. Newsom is allegedly trying to phase out ranching and dairy operation in Point Reyes, with the Nature Conservancy playing a key role in taking farmland for environmental restoration. Newsom has also restricted water to farmers, justified by environmental policies championed by groups like the Nature Conservancy, hurting California farmers who rely heavily on consistent water access. CBS is under fire for deceptively editing Secretary Kristi Noems' response about an illegal migrant criminal. Many are now saying that CBS News should lose their license for manipulating the interview, selectively editing her responses to make sure the audience didn't hear the criminal record of an illegal migrant. It happened on a Face the Nation interview where Noem was talking about immigration enforcement and the case of Kilmer Abrego-Garcia, who was detained by ICE. In the broadcast, CBS removed a significant portion of Noem's response about Garcia, an illegal migrant facing human smuggling charges.
And the one thing that we will continue to do is to make sure that he doesn't walk free in the United States of America. This individual was a known human smuggler, a MS-13 gang member, an individual who was a wife beater, and someone who was so perverted that he solicited nude photos from minors, and even his fellow human traffickers told him to knock it off. He was so sick in what he was doing and how he was treating small children. So he needs to never be in the United States of America, and our administration is making sure we're doing all that we can to bring him to justice.
This 25-second segment was cut, leaving viewers unaware of the severity of the charges against Garcia. CBS was recently sued for editing a 60 Minutes interview with then Vice President Kamala Harris during the 2024 presidential campaign. Trump filed a $20 billion lawsuit against CBS, alleging that the network's editing violated the law, which prohibits misleading acts in commerce. In the end, CBS had to pay. A Biden-appointed judge born in Trinidad and Tobago blocked President Donald Trump from sending unaccompanied migrant children back to their home country of Guatemala, even after their parents requested their return and Guatemala agreed to accept them. The federal judge, who's been on the bench for about a year, stepped in to stop the Trump administration from returning nearly 700 unaccompanied migrant children back home. According to the DOJ, the children's parents or guardians in Guatemala had requested their return, and the program was put in place to reunite families. The Guatemalan government, including the president, confirmed that they were ready to accept the children, calling it a moral and legal obligation. U.S. District Judge Sparkle Suknanan, born in San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago, issued the emergency order blocking the repatriation of these minors, many of whom were already on planes ready to depart from Texas and reunify with their families. The decision has sparked outrage over the judiciary's attempt to determine immigration policy, with many also saying that foreign-born people should not be making decisions about American immigration policies. The order lasts 14 days pending further legal review. Dr. Robert Malone says the reason people at the CDC are resigning is because investigations are about to be launched into the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines. He said the truth was about to come out and they would have to account for their actions. They knew the gig was up. Dr. Malone, a prominent vaccine scientist and critic of COVID-19 vaccine policies, is revealing that recent high-profile resignations at the CDC were triggered by the approval of the new investigation. According to Malone, the advisory committee was given the green light to investigate the vaccines, prompting panic among top CDC officials who were scared of being held accountable. On August 27th, CDC Director Susan Menarez was fired by the Trump administration after just 1 month in her role. In June, Kennedy fired all 17 members of the ACIP, which is the panel responsible for advising the CDC on vaccine recommendations. He replaced them with 8 new members, including Dr. Malone. They all are known for questioning the safety and efficacy of the vaccine. Kennedy said his goal was to make sure there was rigorous evidence-based scrutiny of vaccine policies. That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Aguayo.